So my friends, finally I booked my ticket to Mongolia again. Yeah, it's gonna be winter this time. So leave to Mongolia during Chinese New Year, and it's gonna be 5 degrees. Oh no, it's gonna be -40 to -30 degrees in Mongolia. The first time when I went to Mongolia, it was in July, so the daytime temperature was about 28 degrees and evening was about 8 degrees. So I seen the summer side of Mongolia, and what pushed me more was to see the winter side. I seen several online photos of Mongolia, and it's cold, freezing, and it's very difficult condition. Absolutely difficult condition for mankind to survive, do any kind of work or make a day-to-day living over there. Initially I wanted to go there just to take some photos because I like the whole aspect of everything being white and cold and a few elements of black or some few elements of movements in the cold snow. A lot of online photos, I have seen that. So fortunately I booked my ticket just today, and but there was an idea that kept coming in my mind that I have to not just go to Mongolia because I want to experience winter, -40, the survival skills, but maybe I wanted to also do something over there. So I thought maybe I should do an art installation, as my background is from architecture. And so the ideas keep popping out, and always I kept thinking, what could you do, like an artwork in Mongolia. So anything that I do, like a usual artwork, will be very difficult, like any kind of installation that you build from the scratch over there, almost impossible, because -40, you can't even move, you can't even think, your brain is frozen. I have never been to -40, but I've been to about -20 degrees in the past, just for a day or two, and I know how freezing it is. So I thought maybe let's do an exhibition. There are some ideas coming up in my mind, trying to do with some kind of tubes, inflatable tubes. So the idea would be to make it offsite and assemble it in Mongolia. The constraints are you cannot, the most difficult thing is when you travel to Mongolia, you're allowed to carry about 20 to 30 kgs in a single bag only. So you cannot carry anything more than that. I'm expecting a few people to join this, like about 10 or 15 people for this trip, but none of those guys are going to help me with my installation to carry anything from Hong Kong to Mongolia, because everyone will have thick jackets, thick coats. People are going over there for a 5-day tour where they will do the husky, snow sledging, etc, etc. But I will have to carry my own stuff. So at the moment, the constraints are that I will have to carry my own artwork in my own bag, so which means it has to be under 30 kgs. It has to be packed in one single bag. And other constraint is I have to learn the survival skills to do the installation in -40 degree. Also, more challenges. I need somebody to do the videography, somebody to do a drone. Initially in my mind it was like I would do an installation of a snowflake falling from the mountain, a chrome plated snowflake falling from the mountain. But sooner or later I realized this could be very challenging, because I was trying to make a lot of sketches of the snowflake and it was not being able to replicate exactly the effect of a snowflake. So more or less, every time I draw something it became like a crystal ball and not a snowflake. Snowflake is flat. It's not a three-dimensional object, and I wanted to do something. And if I had to roll something from the mountain up down the hill, or roll something from the hill down, then it has to be something three-dimensional. So space is not a constraint because there's plenty of land available. In the last few days, every time I walk outside, I see, wherever I see like straws, tubes, I start taking photos. I started realizing that my eyes automatically focuses on whatever is made of tube, whatever is made of straws, whatever is elongated, and like any kind. So if I would have done a snowflake, it would have been probably a copy or a replica of some kind of an object. So I'm thinking of new ideas. Of course, definitely time is a constraint because I have like exactly 30 days to think about an idea, to prepare the installation, and to work out the physical aspect of it, how to construct it, deconstruct it, and then reconstruct it in Mongolia. Um, yeah, so uh, yeah, so I started taking photos of wherever my eyes goes. Like whenever I see something like a straw tube, started taking photos. I think it will be part of the process. It's gonna be part of the process. I'm thinking that what are my survival skills, or what are the constraints? So of course, one of the ideas I was thinking is maybe I have to do the installation at night time, so that when it's morning I can take photos. Because if I start anything during the morning hours, that means I'm going to finish it during the night time, and by morning, when it's time to take photos, the installation might disappear because of snow, because of wind. I don't know what will be the constraint. If I prepare something during the night time, again, it's going to be dark, and I had to do the whole installation in the dark, as a process. And I don't know if there will be wind or what. It's going to be very challenging to do the installation. So first thing is snow. Second thing is you'll be wearing a lot of gloves. So how can you make an installation wearing gloves? Second constraint. Third is absolutely, I don't know how many people are gonna help me with the construction, or how many people are gonna help me with their video documentation. It's a very challenging thing. Whether I'll get the permission or not, whether people will be friendly enough. I come from India, so I have no experience about surviving in cold climates. I come from Mumbai, so absolutely Mumbai. The coldest it gets is like 18 or maybe 24 degrees. Summer is as hot as 38 degrees. So we never went to that cold climate. What I have at the moment is my architectural presence of mind, my design ability, my creativity, and this is how my mind, of doing things in a very simple way, is how I will have to challenge myself, my ability over here. Let's see how it goes. So today I went to, I wanted to make some mock-ups, because I've done some sketches. I wanted to do the mock-up, some kind of drill. So I started picking up some straws, and paper straws, because I cannot use plastic. Plastic cannot be glued. It will take a lot of time if I had to glue a plastic. So I was looking for paper straws, went to Marks and Spencer's. A small packet of paper straw is like $25. So like, fuck this shit, it's not gonna happen. So, but then that's how the mind starts behaving. Then I seen that, oh, maybe I cannot use a paper straw because it's so expensive, but maybe I can use some kind of cylindrical pasta sticks, which I can stick maybe, and then construct an installation. And then suddenly, so once I started that idea, a next idea pop up in my mind that, oh, Marks and Spencer's has free utilities, like the spoons, the fork, the knife, the tissue papers, and to my luck, they also had paper straws in it. So of course, I kind of flicked a few of them, but then I realized, no, I need more of them, and it would not be good if I just, take a 50 of them and put it in my pocket, or something. So I decided to buy some. Pasta, and then I said, okay, now it is correct because I'm buying something, and then I can at least take a few straws along with me. So my mind, because $50, if I had to buy, each packet had 25 straws in it, and it was costing $25. That means $1 per straw, and if I could buy two packets of paper straws, then it would have cost me $50, which is super expensive for me. So I'm not gonna do that. So that's the reason why I came up with this idea. I'm gonna start constructing it tonight, or whatever, testing out forms, and if there is anything dynamic, because There's criticism all over the place. You do something, people don't like it, say, oh, what is gonna be so funny. So I'm gonna test out. Gonna test out some few forms. It's gonna be very challenging. Let's see how this winter Mongolia trip goes, and how the winter is gonna. It's gonna be a psychological challenge. It's gonna be physical endurance. So I have to train myself to stay awake during the night time and practice my installation abilities so that I can do the same thing over there in Mongolia. I think I'm gonna grow a beard because that will keep me probably a little bit warm on my face. I have to start losing weight probably, or maybe the weight might help me to keep myself warm. The fat. Oh my god, there's so many things. So I can start thinking of all different kind of ideas coming in my mind, and yeah, I will keep recording things. So these recordings are not for posting. I'll keep recording them because I keep forgetting things, you know, and sometimes I don't know what to talk, what to say. Maybe this is like a good documentary of you know, whenever I think something, I can just video record it, so it becomes like a good documentary for the future process. So I'm ready to go to do some kind of craft work now with the straws I picked up. You know, straws, I was thinking of chopsticks, but chopsticks are heavy. They don't quite behave the same way as the tubes. Let's see what these tubes are, and let's figure out in the coming days. It's gonna be a challenge. Yeah. Ciao.